Wait for the notification to go on out. Hey, my loves. Okay. We are going to wait for the notification to go on out. Ooh, I did not mean to do that. And while the notification goes out, I'm going to go get me a drink. Hey, Tosh, how are you? Welcome. Thank you for coming on through and celebrating my birthday with me. No, it's today. We are celebrating the birthday. I got some announcements. I have some announcements, but it is today. So we are just waiting for the notification to go on out and give people a chance to come on in. Okay. All right. So, hello, my love. Hi, Crypto Tasha. How are you? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Crypto. Can I ask you a question? Did you have a different name, Crypto Tasha? Cause why I feel like you just changed your name, like you one of the subs, and you just changed your name, and I don't know. Cause your face looked familiar, and you look like a. Okay, I knew it. I was like, that looked like a day one. Okay, I was like, that looked like one of our day ones. Okay. Like you were day one from day like 2019, 2018. Okay, cause you know. All right, so I'm gonna go get my drink. Okay. Thank you. Okay, cause I'm looking at the picture and I'm like, I know that face. Okay. No, I know that face. All right. I'm gonna go get my drink. Okay. I have so much to share with you guys. Some beautiful things. It's some beautiful things. I have so much to share with you guys, and you guys know that we kicking off in this new energy also. So go grab your drink. I don't care if it's water, I don't care if it's wine, I don't care if it's grape juice. And in all honesty and transparency, I forgot to get me my wine today. I did. I had a very interesting day, and I forgot to get my wine today. And the kids have the car, so and I'm getting my hair braided, so I wasn't able to run out and get my wine. So I'm gonna have grape juice, y'all. But the news that I got is going to supplement, So I'm just, I know I told y'all we're going to have wine, but I did not get a chance to get my wine. I'm just saying, though, right? Okay, so I'm going to have grape juice, but I'm going to go get my juice while y'all get y'all wine, like water, or whatever it is, and I'll be right back. That so sucks. That really does suck. Okay. Okay, guys. Hey, Miss T, how are you? Tosh says she got her tweets. Taj, if I wasn't on camera, I would have my tweets too. You know, if I was not on camera, I would have my tweets too. All right, so I want to say happy Scorpio season. Okay. Yes, we birthday, Kelly Cal. Oh, the crew is here. Okay, first of all, disclaimer. Okay, this is not going to be our normal live. All right, it is my birthday. Okay, so we finna just have a adult conversation or some adult conversations. Okay, and keep in mind it's Scorpio season, so that's what I'm gonna say. You know, it's Scorpio season. You know, so I pulled the card. I pulled the reading for myself the other day, y'all, and the card that popped up was uh sexuality, like embrace your sexuality, and I'm like, I've been single for a while, um thank you, Taj. So I'm like, I'm definitely feeling, so we're about to Scorpio season it tonight. And let me just say, I am definitely my mama's daughter because I'm celebrating my birthday for all of Scorpio season. Okay, all right. And so I'm not happy I forgot my wine, y'all, because I really wanted us to have a toast, but I'm gonna have some toast with some grape juice. Okay, let me clear the tone because y'all know we set the tone. I want to clear the tone, and then we're gonna have a story time tonight. Let's just have fun tonight and have a story time, right? We're not gonna, if gems are gonna drop, but it's not gonna be as how I be linked with my notes. I don't have notes tonight, but I do have some story times that I want to share with y'all. Okay, I want to make y'all laugh a little bit today. And I got some questions too because I want to know if it's just me, right? If it's just me, and I might even get some cards so we can have some fun with it. So let's just play with the energy. And I want to say also, guys, first and foremost, thank y'all for showing up for yourself. And thank you for showing up to celebrate my birthday with me. Because real talk, literally about 10 minutes ago, I did not feel as energized as I am now. Y'all are just pouring in so much love and energy because I did not. I did not feel the way I am feeling now. Now I feel energized. Now I did not feel that way 10 minutes ago. 10 minutes ago, I was like, okay, I got to get on the live because I already told everybody 7 o'clock. Kelly even called me like a few minutes, well, are we doing this? So just so y'all know, I appreciate the tone and the vibe y'all sending out right now, and that's why we finna get into a little story time, okay? We having this is gonna be a real life interactive class chat birthday story time today. What did I get up to do? I got up to do something. Give me 1 second, y'all. Okay, so we claim the tone. Okay. We're clearing the tone for all of the 4 elements, okay? Remember, we claim the tone first of all for air energy, which is our thoughts. Your thinking, your logical, your deductive reasoning. We're clearing the tone also for water energy, which is our intuition and our emotions. That was so much better than the thoughts. I might have to rering the thoughts again. We also claim the energy for fire, which is movement of the energy. It's also our action, how we act, react, respond, okay? And now we claim the tone also for earth energy. This is our manifestation. This is once we have thought a thing, felt a thing, act upon a thing. This is not a manifestation of the thing, the tangible thing, okay? That one was really beautiful. I'm also going to bring it one more time because the tone from the air energy, which is our thoughts, was a little distorted. So I want to make sure that we're all in the same resonance. That is so much better than the first one. All right. How y'all can show me some birthday love today just by putting a thumbs up on the video. That would be so appreciated. Okay. And I do accept gifts because it's my birthday. As a matter of fact, let me go ahead and put my Cash App in here in case any of you want to go ahead and send me a little gift for my birthday tonight. Okay, all gifts are welcome. Let me also say this, y'all. I appreciate each and every one of you. Okay, I appreciate each and every one of you. So this morning, we're going into story time now, right? Yesterday, I sat down, I meditated, and I thought, okay, well, we're doing our live relationship narratives tonight. So, what we going to talk about? And I wanted to talk about love because I was online yesterday and I came across a video that was talking about I would choose loyalty over love, and I began to think, and I'm like, well, if you are really operating from a place of unconditional love, like loyalty automatically comes with that, right? But what I'm also noticing is people don't understand loyalty don't mean that I got to put up with your nastiness or your BS. Loyalty means first I have to be loyal and truthful to me. And then once I'm loyal and truthful to me and I know who I am, right? I have my boundaries, right? I operate and I move in love and compassion and empathy, right? Those are the things I'm loyal to first. And I'm even so loyal to the point that I can create a space for you to have whatever, loop, whether it's a toxic loop. Oh, thank you, Miss T. Thank you so much, Miss T. And Miss T, for your gift, I'm also going to give you a gift. I'll pull a card for you before we get off the birthday tonight, okay? And so, like I had this whole thing planned, right, y'all? I meditated on it. I had this whole thing planned because one thing y'all gonna learn about me, especially the new subscribers, is that I need to have like I need to have a system or something. I need to be able to have something. It's very difficult for me to come on here and not have at least a structure of how I'm going to navigate the chat. It's okay if I go over something, if I don't get to something, but I need to have something, right? Okay. So I went through the whole doing my research and just tapping in to see what people are talking about, see if I can kind of get some, how people feel about love and all of this stuff. And went through the whole listing it out. We were going to go through the 12 points of love because we're jumping into our 12 points of, DNA and everything 12, right? And then I got up this morning and I started, first of all, I got up this morning to a text from somebody that I love dearly. I love this person dearly with all my heart, and they broke my heart multiple times. Multiple times. Every time I opened up to give them a chance, they broke my heart. Multiple times, okay? And I'm used to this person texting me happy birthday. Every time my birthday is once been known. Now, mind you, never really got a happy birthday text from this. Never really got a happy birthday, let's celebrate you while we were together, right? I got more birthday love after the relationship dissolved, okay? So I'm used to this person throughout the years being like one of the first people to wish me happy birthday. This birthday was different though. This birthday, I got the birthday text, but I also got some songs, right? Along with the birthday, and I know this person well enough to know that they communicate through songs, okay? And as I listened to the songs, I was very perplexed about the nature of the songs because I know that this person, this is how they communicate, which means that you would have clearly and specifically chose these two songs to express what you're feeling, right? The first song, hi, how are you? Hi, I love you, baby. How was work? Good. Okay. So, sorry, my kids just came home. Okay, so, very, very communicative in songs. So, but we're also, approaching retrograde, I think, tomorrow. Okay, so it's a loop back, but I'm also acknowledging that it is my birthday. I am doing like this deep dive into not just who I am, but the resonance of who I am, my true essence. Okay, so I'm open now to. I want to see everything. So if this person is circling back, what are they here to show me? Like, I don't want to run no more, right? Like, I don't want to, I'm not running from nothing. Like, okay, I'm here. Show me what it is, okay? So I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna, I said, okay, I'm not going to respond to the songs, but I am going to say thank you to the happy birthday. So I didn't respond to the songs, but I did say thank you for the birthday wishes. I didn't even get into the songs. So one of the song of choice was Confessions Part 2. Okay. And I remember thinking, okay, well, I can understand Confessions Part 2. I can understand, okay, based on how it went down, I can understand. Okay, I understand Confessions Part 2. But and then after Confessions Part 2, the next song was Major Blige, I Can't Be Without You. And then as I listened to the lyrics in that song, I thought to myself, this is quite interesting because I don't know if the tone of that song really matched the tone of what the relationship was because I don't remember you doing anything that she's singing about. As a matter of fact, every opportunity that you had where you could have done what she was singing about, like you blew that opportunity. Like you chose to do something different within the space that you had an opportunity to do so, right? And then y'all, here comes the tears. So now I'm crying now, right? But the why I'm crying, but now, so here's the interesting thing, right? Because I've gotten to the place in this journey where I can be an observer of myself, right? Because you know how I always say you got to get into your emotions so you can get out of your emotions. You got to get into your feelings so you can get out of your feelings. Because if you don't do that, it's going to be the same lesson or the same experience or the same habit trying to get you to course correct, right? But with different people and different experiences, right? So I'm really big now on let me see it, right? What are you mirroring back to me so I can get, right? Because I really am open to something beautiful, but I know I can't take old patterns, old thoughts, old, baggage, old energy with me. And I also know I've been doing a lot of energetic body work. So things are coming up, okay? And we're also in retrograde energy, okay? So immediately after I played the two songs, I then went for my own energy, my own spirit. I played Adele Turning Tables. Okay. Now I'm watching back and I'm watching this whole thing play out as an observer. Right. So I'm watching myself listen to the song. I'm watching myself in my thoughts thinking like, okay, I know how this person communicates. And the first song, okay, Confessions by Usher, I can understand. The second song, Be Without You by Mary J. Blige, I probably understand that now because the type of love that I embody is you gotta be a willing participant. This type of love, it changes you, right? If you're open to it, it can change you. It can help you to be safe within you, right? But I also find what I was doing within relationship, right, was I was dating people to validate the parts of me that I was either ashamed of, the parts of me that I felt was not worthy, the parts of me that I felt were unloved, right? So I was navigating through my younger years doing that, right? So when this person reached out to me, I spent a really nice chunk of my younger years with this person, right? So when they reached out to me to wish me happy birthday, I'm used to them doing that. Um, when I got the songs on my birthday, however, that took me back to a place of how that person broke my heart and how much I was in love with that person and how much I love that person and how much, and even to this day, I don't think that love has died. That love has not died. It's just been transmuted. Okay. The love has not died. And that's what I was crying about today, because today what I realized was, wow, like even though all of this stuff was done to hurt me, and some of it purposefully, okay, some of it like purposefully hurt me, okay, I still have love for this person. Like there's still love for this person. But here's where I am with this, right? But I love myself enough to know at this point I cannot give this person my heart, right? Because they don't know what to do with it. Like I see what you're doing to yourself right now, right? So even though you reached out to me and maybe you're trying to bait me or and it, to bait me to see where I am or to get whatever it is, because we're in retrograde, so whatever that circle back is, I am at that place enough to know that, one, this is like the universe saying to me, you've done all of this work. Here's this person that I know that you once loved. Here's this person. You know how you have that one person that just get away with shit that don't nobody else get away with? Like there's just that one person that you just that one person that just get away with shit that nobody else had gotten away with. Like they just get passes that nobody else gets away with. Okay. So here it is, this one person that clearly had a part, and the interesting thing about this was I remember having an intimate moment with this person where I had a flashback about us being in ancient time, and it scared the crap out of me because at that point I didn't know as much as I know now. I didn't have as much awareness as I have now, right? So that scared me, and I remember even in that exchange when we touched, it was like an electric, like literally, I felt the shock, and like you know how you can like electrocute somebody, like when you got a lot of energy charge in your body, you can discharge when you touch somebody, you shock them. Okay, so and all of this was happening in the intimacy, so the shocking and the flashing of the ancient faith, just anyway, moving forward. Okay, so that triggered up some memory today. So I'm like, okay, I'm not going to judge it, right? What I am going to do, because remember, I told y'all I went down that deep dive yesterday about love, right? And the first thing about love, okay, I'm going to read this off to y'all, right? Let me read this off to y'all because I understand what's going on here. I understand what's going on here, right? So I go in to do the deep dive about love yesterday, and one of the first things when they started to talk about the 12 tones of love, right? The first tone of love was acceptance. Okay, so here it is last night. I'm getting ready for our birthday live today, okay, y'all? And the first tone that I wanted to talk about tonight had to do with love, right? And the first one was acceptance. Okay, so full-fledged, got the text message, started to cry today because I could still feel that love pulsating, because on unconditional love, and here's where I want to say this, right? There are really two types of love that you can operate on. Well, there's really one tone of love. There's one tone of love, right? But just like, you have temperature where you can have hot and cold, but it's still temperature, right? We still read it as temperature, right? There's a tone of love, but you can have a lower vibrational tone or a lower resonance tone of love, and you can have I want to say, a more clearer, coherent tone of love, right? So if we're looking at it from that aspect, you have what you may call conditional love, and then you have unconditional love, right? So conditional love is going to say, if you don't do this the way that I do want you to do this, then you don't really love me, right? If you don't purchase, if you don't come with the money, if you don't come with the education, if you don't come with the maybe doing what my dad didn't do, if you don't come with maybe, filling in for my mama, or do the things the way my mama said women should do. Like there's all of these things, right? These conditions attached to how I am going to love you, okay? All of these things attached to how I'm going to love you, right? And then you have unconditional love that says, I love you not because I need anything from you, right? I love you because I can. I love you because I love me. I love you because I understand that we are all fucked up. Like we all got shit, right? So I love you past your shit. And because I love you past your shit, I allow grace and mercy when I'm interacting and communicating with you. However, I have boundaries, right? Unconditional love have boundaries. Conditional love have no boundaries, okay? Unconditional love has, let me just say this. Unconditional love has healthy boundaries. Conditional love is transactional. Okay, let me say that again. Unconditional love establishes healthy boundaries. Conditional love, however, okay, is very transactional based. Okay, in order for me to fully love you, these are the requirements that's needed. Unconditional love is not going to say that. Unconditional love is going to say, I love you even if you lack this, you lack that, you lack that. However, there are boundaries here, right? And the boundaries are not so much to keep you out, but the boundaries are to keep the both of us safe. The boundaries aren't about keeping you out. No, the boundaries is just about keeping you safe. Think about it, right? Think about the way life and nature evolves, right? When you think about the ocean, right? The ocean recedes in, but the ocean knows it has a boundary, right? So when the high tides come in, it still comes in within that boundary, right? And anytime that high tides come in and it passes that boundary, what happens? It's not safe. It causes destruction, right? So unconditional love has boundaries, not to keep you out of the love, not to give you conditions and how it's gonna, how love is gonna flow, right? But to make sure that you don't drain the love or you don't allow toxic shit to come in and contaminate the love. Right? Unconditional love, it doesn't keep, is patient, is kind, is compassionate, right? But it also knows that the first way that you can actually show unconditional love to anybody is by first giving that to yourself. You cannot give to another what you first have not given to yourself. You cannot, okay? So the first thing that was on the tone of love, right? And this is something we're going to be getting into, y'all, okay? We're going to be getting into this because you need to know this as we go through the tone of 12, okay? The first thing was acceptance. First tone was acceptance. The second one was compassion. Third one is patience. The fourth one is kindness. The fifth one is integrity. The sixth one is forgiveness. The seventh one is presence. The eighth is freedom. The ninth, devotion, right? The 10th, joy. 11th, wisdom. And 12, unity. And all of these are unity consciousness. So really what we're talking about is, and this is just me laying out the 12 tones of love and how they're going to show up in your chakra system. And I'm not going to get into that because I don't want to start teaching that right now. But these are the 12 tones of love, right? And then as we start our journey, we're going to talk about where these tones land in your body, how they resonate in your nervous system, okay? Okay. Yeah. Love doesn't die. Exactly. Love doesn't, it just transmutes. So let me tell y'all the dynamics, okay? Because I know, I'm going around with the story. So as I play the song, remember there's two songs. I got two songs, right? The first one is Confessions Part 2. The second one is Mary J. Blige, Can't Be Without You, right? And then right after I listen to those two songs, I burst out into tears, right? So now I put on Turning Tables by Adele, okay? And remember I told y'all the other day, if you was listening to me on, I don't remember what video, right? Adele's music is complex music, which means it's touching every chakra within the body system, okay? So that means it's hitting it's tonal. So that means that tone is hitting where it needs to hit, right? So obviously I put on the Adele, I'm crying now, but what I find is the cry or the tears that are coming out is not like they were years ago. Oh my God, he hurt me. That's not what the fuck was coming out. What was coming out within these tears was acceptance, right? It was acceptance, but it was acceptance of, I really love this person. I really love this person. And then, my guide shifted me from loving this person, then bringing in another experience, right? This was another experience right before I met this person. And I actually broke this person's heart to be with this other person that sent me the music, you know? So now Spirit is showing me, okay, here it is, right? You've been holding on to all this pain and all this hurt for years. Now you've gotten to the place where you can laugh and talk with this person like I was, like I can laugh and talk with this person now. You understand? So you've gotten to a place where you and this person can laugh and talk. Yes, it's not every day, maybe once or twice a year that you interact with this person, but it's not where you can't laugh at each other, and you can't laugh at the pain now. It's not as out. So when they say something, you're not responding, in the old way that you would sharp with that tongue, honey, because I'm Scorpio, honey. So which means like the mouth, mouth, okay? So I started to get shown, although they broke your heart, let's look at how you broke somebody else's heart, right? Let's look at that. Right? Let's look at that. And two, let's also look at the spaces within that relationship where you broke that person's heart also. So let's give them some names, okay? Um, let's give the person that sent me the videos, let's give them the title of, I felt like that could have been a true love type experience, right? I felt like that the person number one would be what I would consider could have evolved into a true love type experience, okay? But really what we were mirroring back were each other pain. And as I started to heal my pain, they did not take the opportunity to do that. If they took the opportunity to heal their pain, I think we would still be together. I really do. I really, really do. I really do. Um, so the first person in this story that sent me the videos represents love, because I loved, I wanted that relationship to work, and that relationship opened me up. As a matter of fact, that relationship is really what sent me down the journey of really tapping into my spirituality, right? That shit caused me so much pain, okay? I tell people that that relationship was the best lesson of my life, and I'm forever grateful for everything that happened in that relationship, because I wouldn't be here right now. I would not be here right now, okay? And let's give person number two, let's call them the person of possibilities, okay? Because I feel like if I had an opportunity with that person too, it would absolutely be something beautiful, right? I feel like if I had an opportunity with that person, it would absolutely be something beautiful, right? So because I felt like I missed the opportunity with Mr. Possibilities, right? Because I didn't realize that I was in love with Mr. Possibilities until he was just no longer present anymore in the way that I was used to, right? We were still friends, but he had moved, and you know, um, but with the love, that the one with the love that could have been there, I tried. I tried. Okay, I really did try. So these are the two people that I have went through my life for years, feeling like if the work was done and if the circumstances were different, and if the timing was different, this could have been something really, really beautiful. Really, really beautiful, okay? So here it is now. Adele is playing and I'm fully bawling now. And it's my birthday. Why am I bawling on my birthday? I'm not supposed to be bawling on my birthday. It's supposed to be a day of like, you know? So now, mind you, I am always a person that goes introspective on my birthday. Okay, so I'm not a person that I don't have to get dressed. Y'all see how my hair look on my birthday? I just got my hair ready, y'all. I'm fit to get. Oh, after story time, I do have an announcement to make. Okay, so I'm up here, I'm in my room, and I'm bawling. I'm listening to Adele, and I'm bawling. And I realize that I no longer am angry, mad, or even when I'm crying, feeling like, oh my gosh, he hurt me. Oh my gosh, I can't believe he hurt. No, the tears that are coming out now at this point for this person is, oh my God, I love this person. I really did love him, you know? And I'm not even replaying all of the things he did to me. I'm not even replaying all of the things that he said to me. What I'm replaying is just the love that I felt for this person. Because now, remember, I told you, like, this journey, if you don't give that love to yourself, how can you give it to that person? So Spirit is showing to me, okay, you see how you gave all of that love to that person. Now I'm gonna show you how that same love that you gave to that person, how you took love. I'm gonna show you how you felt like you was giving unconditional love to this person, but over here you took that unconditional love and now it was transactional over here with this person, right? Because you broke this person's heart. Right, you didn't know what love was over here with this person, so you had all of these requirements and what love should look like, right? And in the interim, you broke this person's heart because it did not check the boxes or the definitions of what you thought love was, right? So then I heard my guy say to me, so how do you reconcile, right, getting your heart broken and being angry at somebody and being resentful to the point that even when, you may get a compliment, or even when you may think about relationships, even when you may think about marriage again, you think about the woman that broke your heart, you think about the men that broke your heart. You don't necessarily think about the possibilities that can unfold because of the heartbreak, right? You don't see how not only have you been in a place with pain, you felt pain, but you also created pain for somebody else, right? Do you see that? Do you see how, although your heart was broken, do you see how you also broke somebody else's heart? And the fact that you broke somebody else's heart, did you not still get quiet and cry out within yourself to say that you want love for yourself, like you don't want to give it to anybody else? So this journey is still about understanding that as much as I can sit here and I can call out all of the painful things that happened in that past relationship with the love possibility, with Mr. Love Possibility, right? And just Mr. Possibility, right? I walked through my life also not intentionally hurting people. Yes, I was hurt, but I also did some of the hurting, right? Yes, my heart was broken, but I also broke other people's hearts. And it's interesting too, because when I did get the opportunity to, what I thought would be to mend what I had broken with Mr. Possibility, right? I had hurt him so much to the point that he didn't feel safe. He thought he could, but he didn't feel safe. He couldn't trust that feeling, like, because once you've opened your heart to somebody and they break that trust, it's hard to kind of gain that trust back, right? It's hard to kind of like gain that trust back. Here's what I recognized though, y'all, this morning as I cried on my birthday. Here's what I recognized. The same love that I felt for this person, that just could get a chance, and no matter what, they can get a chance. The same love that I may have abused or used against the next person, right? It was really me just interacting with myself, right? The same love that I was given to this person and was heartbroken because it was not given back to me is the same love that I withheld from myself, right? The same love that I took and used it with conditions with this person is the same love and conditions that I was entering into relationship with. So it was always a dynamic of me really bringing to the table, right? And pushing out my inner expectations on my partners. So as I cried this morning, I was able to reconcile within myself. Okay, so this is what they talk about in the Holy Scriptures when they talk about love thy neighbor as thyself, right? Like, so how can you fully pour out conditional love if you're not loving yourself with condition, right? How can you really pour out unconditional love if you're not already loving yourself with unconditionally, right? Because unconditional love doesn't require you to be or to have. It just is. Like, I love you just because I can, right? Not because I need to, but I love you just because I can. I love you because I see aspects of me in you, and I know what it feels like to be scared. I know what it feels like to be rejected. I know what it feels like not to be safe. So I can love you in those spaces with empathy and compassion because I know what that feels like. But I also understand that love sets up healthy boundaries. So I can love you, but what I can't do is allow you to take me under because you do not understand how unconditional love works, right? So I can create the boundary for you to experience conditional love the way you want to, with all of your checkpoints and your expectations, right? I can do that, right? I can do that, right? And just know that anytime you're ready to step over here in this realm where you don't have to pretend, where you don't have to jump through hoops, where you don't have to set up expectations, where you can just be, right? I'm here for you. I'm here holding space for you to do that too, right? Unconditional love doesn't require you to be anyone but you. Unconditional love does not require you to come in um, uh, with a college degree, or to come in, with all the finances put together, or to come in, knowing everything. As a matter of fact, unconditional love really requires you to come in vulnerable. Unconditional love requires you to come in wanting to be seen. I mean, really seen. Right? We talked about that last week. I told y'all I discovered that that's a huge part of what I was dealing with, hiding behind labels and relationships and all of these things because I didn't want to be seen, right? So how can you be successful in anything, any relationship, any business venture, anything if you don't really want to be seen, right? So you're saying subconsciously you don't want to be seen, right? But consciously you think you want to be seen, but subconsciously you're hiding, right? And you're saying, look at me over here, look at me, but then you're hiding, right? Because the parts of you that don't want to be seen may be attached to guilt and may be attached to that conditional love that we talked about, right? Right? It may be attached to that transactional love that we talked about, right? Because that's what we've been taught, right? We've been taught that, like a healthy man, right, that loves you ain't supposed to cry. He's just supposed to suck it up and happy wife, happy life. That's bullshit. Happy wife, happy life, and you a man and you got emotions and you can't fully express what your fears are. You can't fully express what your needs are, right? So we need to start looking at stuff like that, right? So how can we expect other people to give to us what we are first not showing up and giving to ourselves? Remember we talked about the pebble, dropping the pebble in the water. And as you drop the pebble in the water, how the waves expand out, but they also contract backward inwardly, and the same output and force that you send it out with is the same output and force that it sends back with. And you're not getting a different wave coming back, right? You're not. You're getting the same wave coming back. You're not getting a different wave. It's the same wave, right? But what happens if you're dropping 100 pebbles, right, in the water at the same time at different velocities and different speeds, right? You're gonna get back all of those 100 at different velocities and different speed hitting you at every angle. But if all of these are locked in with condition, right? Imagine that, right? So if you drop this in the pebble, right, and you're saying, okay, I love you, but the condition attached to this particular love is that you got to be able to provide for me, right? Okay, I'm gonna drop this other pebble in the water, right? Okay, I love you, but the condition attached to this particular one right now, right? The condition attached to this one over here right now is attached to how safe you can make me feel, right? Because I don't feel safe with myself, right? Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna drop this one in the pebble, right? Because I love you, right? But if you don't tell me that you love me by buying me stuff, right? Then I don't know, right? So you sent all of these unconditional pebbles out in the water, and then this one is gonna come back to you, well, I'm gonna be selfish and not buy you anything, right? Because subconsciously you're telling me that you want me to love you with conditions. So if this condition is I gotta buy you gifts, I'm not buying you shit. I'm just gonna take. How about I take, right? Because I gotta prove to you that you're not worthy of these gifts. So I'm just gonna take. I'm just gonna take. No gifts. You give me the gifts and I'm just gonna take, right? Okay. You said I love you, but I need to make you feel safe. Okay, you know what? Because that's a condition and you don't feel safe within yourself, I'm gonna do everything I can. I'm gonna ripple back to you. I'm gonna send this wave back to you, giving you every experience that you need. Because look at this. Look at how much size this is, right? All of these experiences that I'm sending back to you. Each one of these is coming back to you, but I'm gonna reinforce it to let you know that you're not safe, right? So you're not gonna be able to trust me with shit, right? So when you tell me your secrets, I'm gonna throw that shit back in your face, right? When you tell me your traumas, I'm gonna use your traumas to manipulate you, right? Because that's the wave you sending back out. You sending back out. You're not safe with yourself, right? Okay, over here, all right. So over here, you saying you sent out the wave of right conditional love, right? This wave right here is money. I need to be able to be financially responsible and protect you and the family, right? But really what you're thinking subconsciously is that you're not worthy and you're thinking in lack. So I'm going to show up with all of these aspects within the same wave to let you know that, yeah, you're not going to feel financially safe with me because I'm going to steal from you. As a matter of fact, I may not even have a job, okay? I may not even have a job. As a matter of fact, maybe, I might have a job, but I'm going to require you to work 2 jobs because I ain't really got no ambition, So do y'all see how this plays out, right? So if you don't begin to find the aspects in you that is showing up within your relationships. And if you don't begin to see like what end of the energy spectrum you're moving from, we begin to give love, or or let's just say unconditional love, the label, right, of conditions, and we don't even know we do that. Because unconditional love is going to say, I don't need you to feel safe, right? Because I already feel safe within myself. So when you come with your red flags, your gaslighting, your love bombing, I see that, right? But I'm going to love you enough to know that I have this boundary and you're free to be who you are, but it's just not going to be with me. Okay? All right? Right? So I'm going to love you enough. I'm going to love me enough to know that I don't need you to feel financially safe because I am a manifest. I am a creator, right? So I can manifest and create anything, including finances, right? Because guess what? Money is energy, right? So therefore, I am worthy of having money, finances, abundance, however abundance is, however abundance look to you within myself. Because I have abundance within myself, I don't need you to come in and give me that. So therefore, right, because I already have it in myself, when I drop this pebble in the water, the only thing that's can rip it back to me is abundance. When I drop this pebble in the water over here, the only thing that can rip it back is abundance. Okay. Same thing. Same thing. Nana said, you got me over here boiling, not out of sadness, but gratitude, because, we are really, growing in the side. Yeah, we are. We are. It's a resonance, Nana, right? We are rippling back to ourselves what's within ourselves. So even when I sat there today and I cried, and I'm telling you, like, I cried. And the tears was not because I was hurt. The tears was because I felt free enough to admit that I love this person, but I love me more. And I don't even want to use the word more. I love this person. Thank you, Miss Kim. I love this person, right? But now I love me too. Now I see me too. Now I want to be seen. And because I see me, because I love me, I cannot give you my heart because you don't, you don't, yeah, no. You're still love with conditions and you're still not doing your work, right? And what you're going to do is you're going to take all of this unconditional goodness that's here and you're going to toxify it and you're going to try to drain it. No. And I've done too much work on myself. I've done too much work on myself. This is why I can love you. And I can see you. I can see you. I can see. And this is something that I've noticed also, that if you're not careful when you're doing your work, right? The potential that you see in somebody else, you will view that potential more than the parts of them that they're actually working, than the aspects of them that they're actually mirroring out to you or projecting out to you, right? You, especially as an empath, okay, you can get caught up more in somebody's potential, okay, than you can in how somebody is really operating at this point. Can y'all hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. I just saw headphones go on. Okay, they can hear me. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Okay, thank you, Kelly Kells. Okay, perfect. Okay, because I saw somebody headphone popped up on my Probably mine. I just opened the case. Oh, you just opened the case? Okay, mama. Okay, perfect. Okay. All right. So that was a beautiful epiphany for me this morning, y'all. That was a beautiful epiphany for me this morning. Um and I honestly have to say, I'm also finding that in this unfoldment of unconditional love, right? There is no need for combativeness with anybody, right? There's no need to be combative, right? There is just this energy of, what's the word? And I'm going to tell y'all exactly how I hear it. Confidence with a little bit of savory sassiness. Right? That's what I heard. Okay? Right? And I'm talking about because it's feminine energy, right? So even if you're a man, I feel like it's coming out with this confidence, and I'm in touch with myself, right? I feel like it's this confidence, and I don't need, there's no need for an explanation, you know? So I find myself now, right, because I am paying attention to me. I find myself asking now, like in real time, is there an energy here that we need to discuss or unpack? Is there something here that we need to discuss or unpack? Because what I don't want to do is, because I'm observing, right? I feel an energy, right? But because I feel that energy, you know, if we need to unpack it, we can't, because I'm telling you right now, the energy that I'm feeling is not mine, right? And because I feel an energy, I know now that you up against the boundary. Right, you up against that boundary. I love you, but you know, you're trying to push past this boundary, right? You're trying to push past this boundary, and we're not in pushing past my healthy boundaries no more. We're just not doing that no more, right? We're just not doing that no more, okay? We're just not doing that no more, all right? So there is this confidence and a healthy dose of savory sassiness, right? I'm gonna let you sit in there for a while. And another thing that I'm learning too is when you begin to really stand in who you are, and what they talk about, what you bring to the table, and let me just tell y'all this right now. I'm not talking about what you bring to the table for somebody else, honey. You know how I talk about going to the buffet? So we all at the buffet. We are all at the buffet, honey, okay? And we're all going up to the buffet with our plates. Okay, we're going to the buffet with our plates, okay? And we are putting on our plates what we want to eat. Okay? We're putting what we want to eat on the plate. Okay? So when you come and you ask me what I'm bringing to the table, it's not so you can eat it. I'm bringing to the table so I can eat. Right? I'm bringing to the table so that way what I'm bringing to the table, whether you want to call it potluck or not, I can share from my overflow, because my cup runneth over, right? But I can't really share with you if I don't have food on my plate. I can't, you know, like if I'm coming and okay, so plate is a representation of the inner you. The food I'm talking about is you filling yourself with self-love, self-confidence. How you expect somebody to be reliable when you're not even reliable to yourself? How do you expect somebody to show up for you when you don't even show up for yourself? Now, I'm just asking these questions, y'all, because I've had to ask myself those questions within the past, like, couple of months. I tell y'all, I'm empty nesting now, right? So even in this crying that I did this morning, right? What I found out was like, oh my God, I'm showing up for myself. And that shit feels good. That shit feels good. Oh my God, that shit feels good. Because here, there's no need to explain anything. You see, that's where the sassy, that's where that savory coming. Because you don't need to explain nothing no more. I am not seeking outside of myself anymore for anything. So I don't need you to validate that I'm loved. I don't need you to validate that I'm special. I don't need you to validate that I'm kind. I don't need you to validate that I'm sexy, because sexiness is an energy. It has nothing to do with how I look, okay? I don't even validate that. I don't need you to validate I'm gonna be okay. I don't need you to validate that I need to take some time off for me and do some self-love. I don't need to validate none of that no more. Because I see me. And not only do I see me, now I want to be seen. See, I'm ready to be seen now, right? I'm tired of hiding from myself now. I'm tired of hiding from myself and giving people the lead role in my own life, right? So if I'm the writer, the producer, the director, and this is the stage, and this is the script, and this is the actors, and I'm in control of it all, why am I giving somebody else the lead role in how I feel about me? Oh, Miss T, it is so freeing. It is so freeing. I told you this happened a couple of months ago, and I realized I don't gotta try no more. I don't gotta try no more. This is what I told you. And this unfolded because of core relationships. Remember, I tell y'all, a lot of these lessons you're gonna be learning is from the people that are close to you. And you wanna thank them for that. You wanna thank them for that. This is a beautiful part about really getting to a space where you love yourself unconditionally. You cannot really begin to love somebody unconditionally until you begin to love yourself unconditionally, right? Because if you're loving yourself with conditions, you're going to give those same conditions to other people, right? Okay, so I grew up in a household where, yeah, my dad cheated, but my dad always made sure that the kids were good. So therefore, I attach a man that loves me. I don't really care what he do in the street once he take care of his kids, you know. Or trigger warning here, trigger warning, trigger warning, trigger warning. This is gonna be a trigger warning for some people, right? I grew up in a household where I saw abuse, but then I also saw them turn right around and loving each other and, you know, laughed a lot, right? So now that I'm an adult, right, if there's not some type of toxicity in a relationship, that's not love. That's not love. Love gotta be a little toxic to me. That's not love, right? These things are programmed in our subconscious, right? So I don't know if I told you, there are 3 planes in which you operate from in this particular realm, right? There are 3 planes, right? You got the physical plane, and the physical plane is the plane of your autopilot. That's the autopilot, right? So you learn how to drive, you don't got to think about it, right? You want to scratch your head, you don't got to think about it, you just scratch your head. This is autopilot. You brush your teeth, just autopilot stuff, okay? Then you got the realm of the soul, which is your intuitive realm. And then you got the realm of the mental realm, okay? The realm that you want to pay attention to is the realm of the subconscious self, because the conscious self is going to speak to the subconscious, right? And say, okay, well, you're not out here. Okay, you're not out here. We're gonna have to set some conditions because these mofos out here acting crazy, right? So let me tell you, because you're not out here in this physical world. I am. You just a conscious, you know. So let me tell you how this is fitting to go down, and based on what I'm seeing, right? Based on what I'm seeing, we're gonna set up these rules, right? So based on what the conscious mind is seeing, right? Because I saw toxicity growing up in relationships and it was labeled love, right? I am now telling my subconscious mind that anything to do with love has to have some type of toxicity in it. This is why you can get in a relationship with somebody and you have a man or a woman tell you it's sexy when you get angry. I love, oh yeah. And they purposely poke you, insult you, do things to, you know, because they like to see you get angry, right? They like to do that fuck fight energy, right? All of that is energy, right? This is a real thing, okay? So when you start to heal and you start to understand that you can have beautiful relationships without the toxic part, you can have beautiful relationships without the toxicity. The toxic part is not needed. It's really not, right? The toxic parts are parts within you. Once you begin to do your work, you begin to see those are the parts within you that you've been seeking outside to have reconciled or to have validated. Remember, truth does not need any external validation, but it will produce external verification, okay? And I'm not talking about truth that's positive, okay, only. I'm talking about any truth, whether it's in the lower vibrational end of the spectrum or whether it's in the higher vibrational end of the spectrum. Truth is only going to seek, truth is always going to verify externally. Truth doesn't necessarily need to validate externally. It really doesn't. Okay? Truth don't need you to tell you, okay, temperature is hot and cold. It's temperature. I don't need you to, it just is. So truth just is. And truth is always going to be able to be verified externally. Okay, so we're dealing with temperature, all right? I said that water is hot. Try putting your finger in some hot water, see if you don't get burned. Okay, I said it's cold out here. It's minus 17 degrees. Try going outside without a coat on and no shoes, right? So the same rules that apply on that spectrum also applies when it comes to how you view the world and how you view relationships, okay? So I want to say this, Yes, Mama. Okay. I want to say this, okay? And I should have started off the announcement with that, but we're an hour in. And I did not write it down because I came into impromptu. I know we were supposed to be kicking off our 12 on tomorrow. I'm going to have to push it back for 2 weeks, and here's why. Okay? You guys know I've been talking about all of this journaling and toning and resonating, okay? So I was journaling earlier this week, and I was just in a space of gratitude and just telling the universe I'm so thankful for everything. Like, I'm so thankful for everything that's unfolding, and it feels so good that you're able to blow my mind. I just cannot believe all of the wonderful things that's unfolding, like you're able to blow my mind, okay? So I got a phone call yesterday, pretty much saying to me, okay, so what are you doing from the 14th to the 22nd? And I'm like, well, I work for myself, so pretty much, like, and they said, okay, well, I'm gonna need you to pack your bags, okay? I'm gonna need you to have your bag packed because we leaving next Friday, okay? So let's just say, guys, that I got a phone call yesterday telling me all that I need to do is pack my bags because I am going on a cruise for 7 days, all expensive paid. I don't have to pay for anything. All I got to do is show up, bring my passport, y'all. Okay, I will be going to Belize, Honduras, and Mexico. Okay, so here's what I don't want to do, because I'm committed to what we've been talking about from since I got back online, and I'm committed also to making sure I don't just give you information, like we get some steps, okay? I don't want to launch our new activation process and resonance process tomorrow and then go away for 7 days and not be able to interact with you on the live. I don't want to do that, okay? Thank you, Miss T. I don't want to do that, okay? So I don't want to pre-record the messages, because I want to be able to hear your experience. I don't want to do that. So here's what we're going to do. I come back from the cruise on the 23rd, okay? And I believe that would be a Saturday, okay? Oh, thank you, Nana. Thank you so much, okay? So I come back on the Saturday. I am going to take a day to rest, okay? Because anything you know about cruise life is, or vacation life is, when you come back from vacation, you're going to need a vacation from the vacation. So you need to give yourself at least a day or two. So I'm going to give myself at least a day, okay? So I'll be back here, I want to say on the, I'll be back home on the 23rd. So I'm going to need a day, okay? I'm going to need a day, y'all, okay? So I say that we can begin, and I don't know why I'm hearing them say December 1st, y'all. I don't know what's going on December 1st. Do we got any? I'm hearing December 1st, okay? Okay, they're saying December 1st. Okay, so because I come back on the 23rd, I'm going to need at least the 24th, y'all, off, right? And so now we're looking at the 25th, which is a Tuesday. I mean, I can kick it off on a Tuesday if y'all are open to that. That's not a problem. I can kick it off the 25th, but we were saying that we were going to do it on a month. Nah, we're doing it on a Monday, y'all, because I already have it synced up and lined up to a Monday flow. So we're going to be doing it on a Monday. I am going to honor myself, and I am going to take the 24th off, which leaves the next available Monday, which is December 4th. However, the beautiful thing about that is now we get to build up to that. So once we launch into this on December 1st, you would be fully equipped, okay? So while I am away and while we work up to December 1st, all of these 12 points that we talked about, love, we're going to start to build a foundation so you understand every aspect, every chakra system up until that point when we take off of how we're actually doing this, okay? So you're going to have to be journaling some things about yourself. You will be studying yourself for the next 3 weeks leading up to December 1st, okay? So That means when we get up on here tomorrow, we are starting to discover who we are. So when we jump into the actual doing the work part of repairing your grid on the first, you would have already known who you are. You would already know how to discern energy. You will already begin to walk in a place of resonance and not judgment. You understand what I'm saying? So we're going to go ahead and get you ready with things like building your spiritual toolbox. Okay, so we're going to be working on things like building a spiritual toolbox. We're going to be talking about things that you can use, or things that you have in your spiritual toolbox that doesn't work for you anymore, whether it's crystals, whether it's tuning forks, whether what type of meditation is good. So we're going to be discussing all of those things leading up to December 1st. So once we kick it off, you have all of your essentials. You would have already went to the store, got your journals. If you need candles, you would have already went and got your candles. If you need some Palo Santo, you would have already went and got your Palo Santo, right? If you need to create a space for your meditation, yeah. Because we finna really get up in this. Now we about this life, which means that you're going to set your timer, okay, once we kick off on the first, right? Because let me give you an example. Your day does not begin without first getting at least 15 minutes worth of quiet time. So even if you got to set your alarm to get up 15 minutes early or 20 minutes early, where you could go to the bathroom, brush your teeth, and then sit your butt down and meditate for 15 minutes. Yeah, we're fitting to train ourselves how to really do this work. It's first mental mastery, emotional mastery, which is then going to control your actions when it's then going to produce the outcome that you want. Because that in which you give energy to is what's going to appear at the force in which you drop that pebble in the water, okay? So if we're dropping pebbles in the water of unconditional love first, if that's the pebble you sending out, as we begin to do this work, the only thing that's gonna bounce back to you with that wave, because the wave gotta go in, they gotta go out, they gotta expand out, and then they gotta contract back in, right? So as it contracts back into you, you begin to see your relationships, right, operate on a higher frequency of love. You begin to meet people and interact with experiences where you feel nothing but the highest vibration of love. You begin to step in experiences where your own energy, when you walk into a room, you change the resonance and the frequency of the room. You start to experience things where people are like, oh my God, this is glowing. What are you doing? Your skin, you look younger. Let me know what you're doing. Oh my God, I love your energy. You begin to experience that because you're now resonating at that. You're not vibrating at that. You're not looking outside of yourself for that, right? So within these 2.5 weeks, as we get to 3 weeks, as we get to December 1st, okay? And just know, as we get to December 1st, we will be out of Scorpio season. Scorpio season is about intensity. It's about passions. It's about your desires, okay? So we're going to utilize that energy. Remember, I broke it down to you, right? So we talked about when we're talking about archetypal types energy, we're talking about the stage, which is set by the planets, right? Then we talked about the script is going to be the houses, okay? And then the actors are going to be the zodiac signs that's playing out those roles, okay? All of that stuff is what we will be unpacking so you can begin to understand energy to the point where you can pick out an archetype just by the way somebody behave, okay? Okay. I know right now they must have like a moon in Libra or Scorpio, Leo. You begin to see because everything has an archetype. You begin to see, right? And then you begin to see, oh, I see what they do. And they operated from this particular system. Oh, I see what they do. And they operated from this system. Where it's no longer a judgment, but you're able to see how they are navigating, right? Because everybody's navigating. Everybody's navigating. So you're able to see how they're navigating and how you need to navigate it, maybe where you may need to pivot. Okay. So thank you, Miss T. Thank you, Nana. I appreciate it. Thank you, Kim. I appreciate it. Yeah. So even with that, right? That trip bounced back to me because of the pebbles that I've been dropping into the universe, right? One of my things that I do is I tell the universe, I thank you so much for blowing my mind. All of these, I cannot even begin to express, or I could not have even imagined or fathom like this on my own. Like, I'm just going to give it to you so you can just blow my mind some more. Just thank you for blowing my mind in this beautiful way, right? And when you walk around with that expectation and you walk around with a sense of just knowing who you are, right? And the beautiful thing about it is You don't really need to know who you are. There just needs to be the desire for you to know who you are because you're unfolding every day. So the person that you are a year ago may not necessarily be the person that you are today, right? So you're constantly evolving, but your essence is not going to change. If your essence vibrates on that highest source of love, that's not going to change. It's not. You just need to set the boundaries so that way the water, aka emotions or aka toxic people and toxic thinking and toxic emotions and toxic behaviors don't seep out into your earth energy, your manifestation, and don't seep over into the boundary that you've created. I hope I'm making some sense, y'all. Okay. But I'm really, really excited about going on this cruise, y'all. And I'm telling y'all in real time, I did not pay for anything. Anything. Nada. Nada. Only thing I gotta worry about is my clothes, okay, and some spending money. That's it. I don't have to pay for anything. And so if I can say anything to you, y'all, I've been on here for over a month talking about self-love. I've been on here for over a month, bringing the same message I was bringing from since 2018, right? The messages haven't changed. I've evolved and I've grown some. I've learned some more things and things that that I thought was solid. Some of them got crumbled because they're no longer valid, right? Because truth, remember, does not seek external validation, but it will give you external verification. So a lot of the external verification was shattering the truth that I was holding within because they were no longer true, right? So the truth was no longer that I wasn't worthy. The truth is that I am worthy, right? The truth was no longer that I needed to shrink myself behind of anybody to be seen, right? The truth is because I'm seen because I see me, right? You understand what I'm saying? So just know your internal truth first needs to be validated within you, okay? Because it's always going to be verified externally, always. So you will know what truth you're telling yourself based on your external experiences. So what I'm saying to you is now I'm starting to see the waves come back to me. I'm starting to see waves come back to me. And I was told, you get on, you can, and even with Kelley Kells, the same thing. You need to just go back, find you got your community. I'm a fan, like I'm your friend, but I'm a fan first, and you have so much wisdom, and you have, but I couldn't even see myself. I couldn't see myself. And let me just say, we all go through those phases where life may throw some shit at you that it knocks you down for a second, right? Where you can't even see the top of your head because you're on the floor, so you can't see the mirror on the vanity. You can't even see yourself in the vanity because life done knocked you on the floor. So you can't really see that part of you that's strong, that part of you that's enough, that part of you that's vulnerable and that's okay, that part of you that just needs to set healthy boundaries, right? You can't see that part of you. All right. I'm going to go ahead and pull this card from Miss T because she blessed me with a birthday gift on Cash App. So I want to go ahead. Miss T, we pulling from Big Mama and Big Papa today for you. Okay, we using this deck. Y'all, I had this deck on pre-order for like 3 months. And I love this deck of cards, man. Listen, I love this deck of cards, okay? I think Taj would love this deck of cards too, Taj. I don't even know if Taj is into tarot card, Taj, but yeah. Nana, and I don't know, Nana, I don't know if you've watched any of my past videos, but I really would like you to check out the 3-Eye Atlas and the Lemon. Thank you. Check out the 3-Eye Atlas and the 6 Lemon video, Nana. Or maybe my first one about the Quasis too, right? That's gonna help you. Miss T, first of all, I just gotta say, your guides, like, they be doing some stuff, Miss T, okay? What? I asked for 1 card, Miss T. Why 3 of them jumped out? I'm just saying, okay? The first one is Oya protection. Okay, you need to know that you are divinely protected. Okay. Oh, you saw that one? Okay, okay. The next one is conjuring, Miss T. Okay. And that's legacy. And the last one is gratitude rampage. It already happened. Okay. First of all, Miss T, I'm done. I'm so done with this message. Let me just go ahead and clarify this message. Okay. Whatever it is that you are being called to do, okay? Whatever it is you're being called to do, Miss T, you need to know that you're protected. Okay. You need to know that you're protected, and this is linked to your legacy. And I feel like this is a legacy of herbs. We've talked about this behind the scenes, Miss T. We talked about you going in to get the recipes, to get the elixirs and stuff from grandma and your guides. I believe you had 2 herbalist guides. I don't remember if one of them was grandma and another herbalist, but I remember there being 2 herbalist guys that were working with you, right? Gratitude rampage, it already happened. Yep, you're a master manifester. And you're just stepping into the point now where you're aware of how you're going to become a master being able to bend space and time. And when I say that, do not take that literally. You can actually bend space and time when you figure out how this works. And this is why I keep breaking down things to you like the 4 elements, right? This is why I keep saying to you, the way you're bending space and time is using the 4 elements, okay? Air, your thoughts, your thinking, your logic, your deductive reasoning skills. Water, your emotions, your intuitiveness, okay? Fire, your actions, your movement, how you move through this thing, okay? What you direct your energy towards, how you focus the energy, okay? And then all of those are going to produce earth energy, which is all of these things, anything that you got going on that you want to do is going to be verified through earth energy. You're going to see a physical manifestation of whatever it is that's going on, or whatever it is that you're conjuring, okay? Now, there is, I want to say, a rule here. The rule to the spiritual game is simple. Know thyself, and to thy own self be true. And the only way that you're going to know yourself is by you getting into yourself so you can really know yourself, okay? You got to get into your emotions, you got to get into your thoughts so you can either get out of your emotions, or you can either expand your thoughts, or really, forgive whatever it is popping up, or find the loops, okay? And just at the bottom of the deck, Miss T, I'm hearing animal energy channeling. And I don't know if we talked about this before, but definitely fairy energy. So garden energy, fairies, gnomes, and the tree with the face is back again. Okay, tree with the face is back again. So whatever animal, especially is around the tree with the face, I think hopefully you know what the tree with the face means, Miss T, okay? Whatever animal that hovers around this tree with the face, okay? And I don't know if this is going to be through because it says channeling. So I don't know if this is going to be you being in the physical space of the tree with the face, or if this is going to be you seeing the tree with the face in your dream, okay? Oh, okay. You said confirmation of dream. Okay, so I don't need to pull no other cards then, because Miss T said you just set up your village. Oh, okay. So confirmation. Okay, so then there it is. There it is. Okay, and then there it is, Miss T. So that's a confirmation. All right, y'all. So if you have your wine, I told y'all I forgot because I was getting my hair done for my cruise. Okay, and it's still not done. We almost there. I'm probably not gonna finish it until tomorrow, y'all. I don't have wine, but I have grape juice. Because I forgot to get to wine earlier, okay? I don't have wine, but I have grape juice, okay? I am so excited that you guys showed up to spend my birthday with me, y'all. And I'm telling y'all, I woke up crying today. So when I got on here and I was seeing all this love, like I felt it just coming through. I appreciate you guys. It feels good to be back. And I am coming back, and I have a lot to share. You're just going to have to do your part and do your homework, okay? You're going to have to do your part and study and verify what I say to you. And I'm not just talking about verify it in books. You're going to have to verify it. You're gonna have to validate it internally and then allow it to be verified externally. Okay, we're on a resonance journey. We talk a lot about the ascension process, but we don't talk a lot about what the ascension process is. The ascension process essentially is, excuse me, is you remembering. Okay, so that's what the ascension process is. It's about you remembering who you truly are. You remembering how powerful you are. You remembering how loved you are. Well, you don't have to seek outside of yourself for power. You don't have to seek yourself outside of yourself for love. You don't have to seek even outside of yourself for healing, because all of that stuff starts within. I can go down the spiral, but science is now starting to verify these things, right? We're now in the quasi era, and in the quasi era, everything is quantum. Your thoughts are quantum, your emotions are operating in the quantum level. This is why you're seeing people spin out. Okay, I don't know if you guys have taken notice to a lot of the stories that you may see online and stuff, or even conversations with your friends, how people are just spinning out. Men and women, like people are having emotional spin outs, right? People are not being able to emotionally or mentally balance a lot of things. People are projecting a lot. People are in their head a lot, right? People, it's easy for people to create these narratives. And let me just say, I made 49 today, right? So I grew up in an era where you had to go outside and play and meet people. Now we're in an era where you don't. All you got to do is look at your phone. So there is no physical touch. And with it being no physical touch, there's also an aspect of no energy exchange, right? So there's no energy exchange where you can activate each other by coming to each other's vortex or auric field, right? Because everything is done online. And if you're looking at the screen online, right, and you're already in electricity, remember how I told you guys there is this thing when I went to school to become a sound engineer, there is this particular, it's called phase or noise cancellation phase, right, where there's a way that you set up two speakers together where they actually cancel out each other, so there's no sound. There's no sound. So depending on how you position these speakers, right, that wave of sound, it just cancels it out, right? So if you can think about where we are right now, there's literally a noise cancellation phase going on between human beings' interaction and the screens, right? Because that physical interaction, like, let's be for real, the kids of this generation they don't have a lot of social skills. It ain't, hi, what's your number, what you like, what you into. It's what's your DM. They want to know what your DM is, right? They want to look at your pictures first before they even get interested in having any type of conversation with you, okay? The question that you need to be asking yourself in this energy is, are you authentically being yourself? Because you're going to gravitate, or people are going to gravitate to you, to really the energy, the frequency that you're vibrating on. And if you're not aware of these loops that you're replaying in your mind, okay, if you're not aware of these conversations that you have in your mind about yourself, to yourself, about yourself, with other people's shit in your mind, if you're not aware of these things, you don't know that you're dropping out all of these pebbles in the water that's returning. I'm not enough to be loved. I'm not pretty enough. I'm not worthy enough. Nobody's really going to love me. Nobody don't really see me. I'm not going to be successful. I'm not going to make enough money. Like, you're dropping out. So although you're out there, oh, peace, love, and light, ashe, peace, love, and light, ashe king, ashe queen, right? But when you close your eyes at night, you replaying all of this stuff, and then you reinfuse it by turning on love and hip hop. You reinfuse it by turning on the Housewives of Atlanta or whatever. You reinfuse it by watching all of these things that just give, I'm not enough, never gonna be enough, not gonna be loved, don't have enough money. So you're replaying these loops in your head, and then you're reinfusing it by the things that you're putting in your energetic field. And then you want to know why you're pulling things to you. You're responsible for your energy in this quasi era. You're responsible for you in this quasi era. Once again, you're responsible for you in this quasi era. You're responsible for mastering the elements in this quasi era. The elements are part of you. Air energy is how you think. How do you think? How do you think when you get off the phone? How do you think when you, I had a conversation with somebody recently, right? And they expressed to me that, yeah, I prefer, to have the TV on, or always need something in the background, something in the background. Can I tell you, let me just give you a tip here, okay? I tell this to my clients too. Okay. One, don't fall asleep with the news on. That's just not the thing for you to do. But I'm going to give you a tip here. If you're in a position where you cannot turn off a TV, if you always need to have something in your ear, if you always need to have something in the background, right? You're running from yourself. I'm just going to give you that tip. If you find that you cannot operate without always listening to something, always having some type of background, something, you can't sleep without the TV, you can't, you know, and especially if you think that you're just doing it because your mind is racing, that's not helping you. So if your mind is racing and your thoughts just keep coming, keeping on the TV or the radio or the lights is not going to help that. That's going to make it worse. But what will help you is stillness, getting quiet, turning off the TV, turning off the lights at night, allowing your body to reset itself. It may be a little uncomfortable at first, right? It may be a little bit strange at first, but your body's asking you to reset. We are now in an era where you cannot trust only what you see with your natural eyes. You have to be able to read energy. It's an energetic thing, period. And just so you know, math is going towards reading energy. Science is going towards reading energy. Medical is going towards reading energy. What you're going to see in this quasi era is holistic medicine beginning to merge with modern medicine. They're not going to be able to help it anymore. I went through that. Go back to my other video when I talk about the timelines. I broke that down to y'all, okay? It is an energetic frequency thing. Just like you have different radio stations going out and you can tune in to a radio station, you are the radio station, my love. You're the one sending out the frequency now. And when you send out your frequency, because you are that beacon of resonance that's going out, right? You're going to get people, aka situations, to tune into your dial. You're going to get aka success, to turn into your dial. So whatever success looks like to you and whatever you're beaconing on or your signal is coming from, guess what? Those things that are vibrating, whether it's people, whether it's opportunities, right? Whether it's shame, whether it's guilt, whatever it is you're resonating on is finding you, my love. It's finding you. So find yourself. How about that? Find yourself. Find yourself. Find your boundaries. Establish your healthy boundaries. You no longer have to love anybody with conditions because you can love yourself unconditionally. And when you love yourself unconditionally, you extend that's the wave that goes out. Like I said, and that's why people want to be in your presence. This is why people think you are the light. And this is why people, you walk in and people are like, oh my gosh, you're glowing. I already told you that. Right? I told you that. Okay, my loves. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for allowing me to do my story time. Thank you for allowing me to unfold and grow here with you guys, right? You are a reflection of me. I am a reflection of you. I believe in telling your story first, for therefore nobody can tell your story for you, right? When you own your insecurities, when you own your guilt, when you own your shame, when you own your failures, when you own your imperfections, can't nobody hold that shit over your head. Can't nobody hold that over your head, right? You can't, I don't know. Like, I'm just in a place where I'm falling in love with me now. Like, listen, y'all. I'm just going to tell y'all. For me to even take my hat off in a live, yeah, but actually, I think I look so pretty like this, too. I'm just saying, look at the skin, y'all. Y'all seen the skin. I'm just saying. I'm being extra, but I'm really just saying, like, I'm in this place where I'm really falling in love with myself, flaws and all, y'all, okay? Look at that. I do need to get my eyebrows done, y'all. I'm going to go get them threaded for the cruise, okay? I'm going to go get them threaded for the cruise. But no, let's love on ourselves, right? Let's put down whatever expectation. Thank you, Nana. Let's put down whatever expectations we got for other people and we have for ourselves and just unfold, right? Everybody's out here doing the best that they can. Even the people that's operating on the most lower vibrational thing, like literally, y'all, if they had the knowledge and the wisdom that we had and the discipline to do the work that we're doing, come on, they would be hella far. And this is another thing why you don't count people like that out, because the minute somebody really earnestly wants to meet themselves and they want to tap into a higher vibration of love, and they get down and they get into really start owning their stuff and maybe apologize. And the funny thing is, they don't even have to apologize to you. Like, they could just get quiet and go to God within and be like, you know what, I did this and that was messed up, I did this and I hurt that person, I did this and that made me look like a sucker because that was really mean and that was nasty. And they go and really earnestly like get within themselves to rectify some things, right? But you haven't forgiven them. I already told y'all that person can turn around and have the most loving, wonderful, beautiful experience before they leave this earth, right? They can turn around and they can have these experiences where all of that pain that they gave to somebody else because they owned it. Not to say they may not have to go through a cycle of reaping what they sowed because of that ripple, right? Not because, because in the meantime, what usually is happening, they'll be crying out because the ripple is coming back of all the bullshit that they done put out. So the ripple, the waves are hitting them, right? But as the waves is hitting them, if they dropping out a new wave of, I don't want to be fucked up no more. I want to be kind. I want to be compassionate. I want to be loving. I want to move with integrity. And they dropping all of these waves with those ripples while they getting all the fucked up karma back that they put out. Eventually, when all of those karmic waves hit them and they learn the lessons, all of the waves of integrity, of love, of compassion that they've been sending out is also going to bounce back to them. But if you're walking around here with unforgiveness, right, and you still over here with resentment, right, guess what's going to bounce back to you? Waves of resentment and unforgiveness. I just told y'all in the beginning how Spirit was just showing me, okay, you were mad at this man for breaking your heart, but let's talk about this man's heart who you broke. Happy birthday, Kia. Hey, fellow Scorpio. That's another fellow Scorpio. That's another fellow Scorpio. Kia, I was explaining to them, Kia, how I got a phone call yesterday telling me to pack my bags next Friday because I'm going on a 7-day cruise. I'm going to Honduras, Mexico, and Belize. And I leave for 7 days. And I didn't have to pay anything, Kia. I was just told to pack my bags. I didn't have to pay anything. Okay. So I'm so happy about that. And if you know, you know, because I've had a year. I told you guys last year, at this time last year, I couldn't speak. I didn't have words. My heart was broken beyond repair. And it wasn't broken because like it was a lover type situation. It was broken because it was somebody that I was in a loving lover type situation with, but that evolved into what I thought was a beautiful friendship, and that friendship was demolished. And by the time that I got to the end of that relationship, I realized that I was dealing with somebody with narcissistic tendencies. And I didn't even know what that was until they played a video to tell me I was a narcissist. And then I realized, wait a minute, you got at least 7 of those things that they're talking about in that video. I don't do those things you do, right? And so for 2 months, I didn't have words because I want to say for 4 months, from September to about the end of January, this person was doing really mean and nasty things to kind of like they just did things that cost me everything. I had to start over, y'all. And they purposely did it, and I had to start over. But I appreciate it because I'm here now. I appreciate it because I found myself. I appreciate it because I remember who I was. I appreciate it. I appreciate it, And I wish that person the best. I wish that person also finds themselves, because I think if they did find themselves and they were operating at their highest vibration of who they are, they would be a fucking amazing person. They wouldn't have to pretend to be an amazing person. They would actually be an amazing person. We just talked about water. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Kia. We just talked about water. I'm going to call you this week too, Kia. We just talked about water because I have some epiphanies that I need to tell you about. But yeah. I'm feeling myself, y'all. Y'all don't even understand. I'm finna, I'm finna take my confidence up to a next level on this cruise because I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm packing clothing where I can naturally be myself. Okay, I don't really want to wear a whole bunch of Spanx, or I don't. I want to be able to be me. So I'm packing in mind of not restricting myself, but loving my body the way it is, because I'm top heavy. So I'm like a small, or maybe like a 7/8, 9 on the bottom, but I can be like a larger, extra large on the top because of girls. So I got this, so I feel like, and I still feel like I have a mom tummy. So I'm loving me for me now, right? So I listen. I figure if all my sisters out here could be out here with some foopers and some side love handles, and embrace themselves and have on their two-piece and not care. Psh, I'm finna do that with some class though, cause I'm a love me, okay. So let's just put it that way. I'm gonna be comfortable in my own way, but I'm definitely finna embrace me and do it up sexy style in my size, okay. That look good on me, cause not everything they put in your size looks good on you, right? So I'm gonna do it up in my size that look good on me, but I'm just gonna accentuate the parts of me, okay, that I feel, don't got the big ass, but I got the boobies, so the boobies is gonna do their thing, okay. I do want to say thank you guys again for spending my birthday with me. Kia, I will call you in the backhand side because I've been on here for a while now, y'all. I'm a voice. So if we can just hold our glasses up, clink, 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 y'all. Thank you so much for spending my birthday with me. Miss Tim will be back here tomorrow. Y'all got me up until Thursday. Okay, so I'll be back on here until Thursday. And when I leave, I won't be doing lives for the 7 days that I'm gone, but I will have pre-recordings, so the videos will be pre-recorded. So you still are going to be having your assignments, okay? And then when I jump back into it, we'll pick up where I left off. If I can do live on the cruise, I would. But I've been on cruise before, and I'm telling you, the signals on the cruise ships is not the best. I'm not going to lie to you. It's not the best. Even when you pay for the package, you still don't get the best signal. Okay, so I don't want to commit to going live at a certain time this cruise, and then the signal is just not working. All right, so I'll do the pre-recorded videos while I'm on vacation. I go on vacation from the 14th to the from the 15th to the no from the 14th to the 22nd. Okay, I'm gonna take off the 20. No, from the to the 23rd. I'm gonna take off the 24th. You guys are gonna see me on live on the 25th. Okay. If I'm not tired, I'll be live before the 25th. But don't expect me to see live until the 25th. You're gonna be having pre-recorded videos up until the 25th, starting Friday. Okay. So I'll be on here up until Thursday. So Thursday will be my last live for 7 days, 7 or 8 days. And then you have pre-recorded videos, and then we're going to jump back in with it. We are going to kick off our 12 strand activation on the 1st of December. And in the meantime, we're going to be doing some house cleaning and building our spiritual toolbox, okay? We're going to learn some things, get rid of some things, maybe add some things, all right? And get you a spiritual routine, because you're going to have to learn how to stay grounded in this energy. All right. With that being said, I want to say thank you guys once again for spending my birthday with me. You want to go ahead and do something kind for yourself, because you absolutely should. And you want to do something kind for somebody else, not because they deserve it, but because you can, okay? And I'm going to see you guys tomorrow. I don't have a time, so make sure you go ahead and set your notification bell. And we're going to do this all again tomorrow, okay? Tomorrow's not story time, though. We getting up into the energy tomorrow, okay? So we back into a normal routine tomorrow, okay? We're not doing the story time tomorrow, okay? I love you guys much. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening. And Shirley, I know you're going to be watching playback, okay? We miss you, Shirley. I know she's going to like that, y'all. Bye, everybody. Have a wonderful, wonderful day, okay?